Welcome to my dining table. Have a seat. Have a cup of tea. Unless you're one of those weirdos who likes coffee. I'm not a coffee person. I stick to tea. If I was offered coffee, I wouldn't take it because I simply don't like it. But welcome. I hope you will enjoy it here. And if you do enjoy it, please consider subscribing. That would make me happy. So if you want to make me happy, that's a very simple way to do it. Anyway, I have a question, a dilemma. I always have questions and I always talk a lot. If you've watched any of my videos, you already know that. So, yeah, don't need to harp on about that, I guess. But a little while ago, I made a video asking you guys for suggestions for topics because I was a bit, I don't know, in my own head, outside my own head, not always sure. And I didn't really know what to talk about, so I asked you guys for video topics, and you guys kindly enough came through and came up with a lot of suggestions, and then I kind of went my own way. Is that surprising? Not to me. It might have been surprising to some other people, but not really surprising to me. That seems to be how I function. But one of the topic suggested, wow, English is so hard sometimes. Anyway, one of the topics was gardening tips, which I have mentioned don't know how many times because I imagine I keep bringing it up. I love nature, and gardening is kind of part of that. So I want to talk about that, and also maybe if you stick around, I have a question that I need help with because I honestly don't know what to do. That's a fairly normal thing, I'd say, for me, but you know, if you would be willing to hear me out and then maybe help me out, I would really appreciate it. So yeah, gardening. In some ways, super easy. In some ways, not so much. Because, you know, plants, if you plant a seed, its mission in life is to grow. So, you know, that makes it easier, I believe. However, sometimes seeds die, which is sad. And at the same time, I mean, we just have to accept it because it's part of life. Or at least part of a seed's life cycle that they don't always make it. They don't always survive. Which is unfortunate. But, I mean, the goal for a seed is to grow. And then we just have to do our best to, well, help it out, basically. By doing just that. Doing the one thing that it's truly designed to do. Growing. But yeah, I don't know what kind of gardening tips I should be giving. Woohoo! Because, you know, you put seeds in the ground, keep your fingers crossed, and then hope they survive. And obviously water them, try to be nice, but most of the time I feel like you just, I don't know, put seeds in the ground, make sure that it's watered enough, and then keep your fingers crossed and hope it survives. At least that's how I usually do it. If that's the best way to do it, I don't know. But, you know, we all have our ways of doing things, I think. So, yeah. So, yeah. I don't know what else to do, or say about it, to be honest. It's just try. And I mean, I'm in a couple of Facebook groups that are like about growing food and growing seeds and growing plants and growing all the things basically. And some other people are, in my opinion, very obsessed with like, oh, you have to do this and this kind of plant or seed need this specific soil, and just it's a lot. And I mean, sure, it could be nice and it might help, but I don't know, if it actually does. Is it really all that? Or could you just kind of more a way of go with the flow? That's how I do it. I put seeds in the ground. I try to remember to water them, and sometimes I forget. And if seeds dry out, they do die. I feel like that's quite inevitable. But seeds do want to grow. So if you want to try, just go for it. See what happens. Worst case scenario, they die. Worst case scenario, the things that you plant, and the things that you would love to grow, it dies. Guess what? It happens to all of us. That is one of the things that are inevitable when you grow food, plants, any kind of vegetable. At some point, some of it will die. And some might feel that sounds very brutal. And sure, in a way it is. But at the same time, it's part of life. I mean, death. Death is the only thing that is inevitable and fully certain to, like, in any way. It's death. It happens. You don't have to like it. You sometimes can try to ignore it and stuff, but it will happen at some point. Hopefully, when it comes to plant, it happens after you've got like what you wanted out of the plant. That sounded kind of not good, but yeah. I don't know how to give gardening tips. Often it's easier to show, but right now it's still, I have to have the ceiling lights on today because it's so rainy and dark and gloomy outside. And it kind of spills over to the inside. It feels like, because it does. So, yeah. I can't show you outside, and besides, I haven't planted any seeds yet. I really want to, and I will get there, it haven't happened yet. I will plant seeds. I will do my best to grow stuff. Flowers, food. Yeah, that's mostly it. Flowers and food. That's what I want to grow. At least start off with. I wish I had a farm so I had more space to grow on. Like, yeah, I wish I had more space. One day, hopefully soon, I will have a farm or a homestead, depending on how you see it. And it will be a ton of work. And I will enjoy it. And I will also be frustrated and exhausted, but I believe I will still enjoy it. At least I really hope so. Because that is my dream. That is my goal. And I don't think just because it's maybe not happening immediately that one should let go of such a dream. So that's my dream. If you want to help me out, as I said earlier, subscribe. I don't know if that's gonna help me out, but hey, can always give it a shot. And yeah, ooh, cool. So that was the gardening tips. I don't know what to do. Like I water my plants, or I should say, I try to remember to water my plants once a week. I've kind of set it to like, I'm gonna water my plants every Sunday. And some Sundays that actually happens. The other Sundays it does not happen. That's how I guess you could say don't always do it. So yeah, but yeah, it would be easier to show you gardening tips if I had something to show, but I currently don't. I mean, I do have a lot of plants inside. If you want to see my indoor plants, let me know in the comment section, because, you know, I could show you all my plants. I have quite a few. Most of them are green plants. Like the spider plant over here, for instance. I mean, I love the spider plants. And they're really good at telling me when they want me to do stuff. As in, if they're hungry, or thirsty, I should say, they let me know. Because that's a pretty cool thing about plants. They tell you what they need, or they can tell you what they need. Not all of them are very good at it. And also, I don't always understand what they want. So, you know, occasionally there are communication problems, communication issues, but a lot of the times, I mean, I've had most of my plants for years and years now, so I feel like I'm pretty good at communicating with them. And no, I'm not a plant whisperer. Words. But, you know, when you live with plants for a long time, you kind of learn to understand them in a way. And also, how crazy does that make me sound? I mean, yeah, I talk to my plants, okay? Just putting it out there. I talk to my plants and I'm happy doing that. It makes me happy. I don't know technically if it makes my plants happy, but I mean, I don't think I've killed anyone by talking to them, so I'm gonna count it as a win. So yeah, I love plants and green and all those things. I mean, whether you like to admit it or not, we are all a part of nature. So we better learn to take care of it. That is my opinion about that. And I also, how do I put this? Yeah, no, I just love plants and growing stuff, and sometimes I kill it, unfortunately. It's never an intentional kill. It's always, sometimes it takes a while, but sometimes I just don't understand what they want, so I don't know how to help them, so some of my plants, because of that, they die. Which is always sad, but also inevitable, because it's part of life. And you can accept it or not, but you're not gonna change it necessarily much. And then to the part where I need your help with. And also, a lot of people have a tendency to kill their plants by basically giving them too much water, so make sure your plant is actually thirsty before you water it. That's a relatively easy thing to do. And don't just touch the topsoil, because that might be dry, especially on indoor plants, and then you can have a lot of moisture kind of if you shove your finger down a little bit. So also be careful. There might be sharp things that will end up under your nails. Trust me, I've done that. Slightly unpleasant, I will admit. But I have something that I want to do, and I'm not sure if it's a good idea, and it might come back to bite me in the butt, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I found, and the thing is, I don't know if it's a good idea, as I said, but I found, how do I start this really? Also, timing. I think I'm gonna check your timing. Hold on. school system works where you live, but sometimes I don't feel like I know how the school system works here either, so that's cool. But the thing is, if I want to start new studies or start school basically in the fall, the date for application is April 15th. And today it's April 13th. So I have like 2 days to make a decision. At the same time, I can like kind of take it back and say I regret it later on. But I've been thinking about it for a while. And it plays into the kind of loving nature part actually. But there is a possibility, not a possibility, yeah, well it is a possibility. There is, shoot, I don't know what the English title for it or name for it is, but you can, these are the things I should probably check before I start filming. Guess what? I didn't. Do I ever? Not really. But you can, there is a study I'm considering applying to. And just because I apply doesn't mean I have to go there or do it. But I kind of want to, but at the same time, because of how different systems are built up, there is a chance that if I apply for the study, and the study is a part-time study that is like through 2 years, and it's here's the thing, I'm not sure what you would call it in English, kind of like ecological farming, I guess. So learning about soil and soil health and plants and what to grow and when to grow it and how to grow it, and being able to help others with it, and also a slight bit of animal husbandry, but also how to basically do farming on a small scale that will help the soil and be kind to the soil instead of destroying it with poisons. Because I don't know about you, but I think poison is, generally a bad idea. So, and that study, I read a little bit about it, and it looks good. It looks pretty cool, and I'm thinking maybe I want to try. The challenge is, if I do that, and if I get in, I can obviously do it, which would have been really cool. However, since I'm currently unemployed, and I guess you could say here comes the challenge, because from my understanding, and I don't know if I'm correct, I kind of really hope I'm not, but from my understanding, as long as I am on unemployment, if I apply for the study, get in, and actually start school, all of a sudden I will not be getting unemployment money, which means, sure, I'm gonna have to get a job anyway, because unemployment money is, well, barely enough to cover my regular bills. So I know I'm gonna have to get a job anyway. But if I haven't gotten a job by the time I start school, which will happen in, August, so I probably will have some sort of job. But money will be like the huge challenge anyway. But if I haven't gotten a job and I start school, I will not be getting unemployment monies, which means that's rather unfortunate for me. So I don't know what to do. And also, is this really the best time for me to start school again? Because, I currently don't have a job and an income, but I don't know what to do. Can someone just tell me what to do? I kind of want to start school, but then you have the money thing, as I keep mentioning, because I don't know about you, but I consider money to be rather important because I like to be able to pay my bills, have a place to live, have enough money to buy food, buy groceries, buy gas or petrol or gasoline. Not sure which word to use. For my car, so I can drive to see my parents, because they live in a place where public transportation, well, there ain't much of it. And it's not like they live in such like a rural, faraway place. It's just, we live in Norway. Public transportation is fairly good in like cities like Oslo, which is the capital. It better be good there, but other places, not so much. Not so much. So I don't really know what to do. I think I know what I want, but I'm not sure if it's what's the word? Feasible? Possible? I don't know if that's the right word, but we're gonna go with that. I don't know if it's possible to kind of make it work with like money and all. I don't know. And in case you haven't figured it out yet, you probably should have. I like getting money. I like being able to pay my bills. I'm one of those people that if I couldn't pay my bills, I would freak out, because that would be not. Honestly, that would not be good for my mental health. If I could not pay my bills, I'm so used to being able to pay my bills, and have a little bit extra, so I don't have to freak out and worry and not sleep well because money is a huge worry. I'm not used to that, so that would be, that would not be good for my mental health, that's for sure. So I'm not sure what to do. In one hand, I kind of want to do it. Another way, I'm a little scared. Then again, the scared part always comes into play. I'm scared of so much. I used to be scared of spiders. That has luckily not disappeared. I'm still not crazy about spiders, but at least they don't freak me out anymore, which is good. I remember once I was at my friend's house, and she had like a very small, narrow kitchen. So if one person was kind of on the far end and the other person was walking in the door and they needed to pass each other, that wouldn't be possible unless you like walked towards each other, gave each other a massive hug, squished together, and then you kind of switched places. Because you couldn't just walk past each other because it was so narrow. It was ridiculous, but it worked. We all had a good time there. But yeah, that was definitely a thing. So yeah. But yeah. And I was in her kitchen one day, and I was like kind of in the end where you can't go anywhere but out, and then in front of me on the floor it was a spider, and I freaked out, and I just pointed at it and screamed. So she came running thinking it was something like seriously wrong, and I just continued to scream and point at the spider. And she didn't do anything immediately because she just basically fell to the floor laughing her ass off for a while, and then apparently my screaming got so annoying that she went and grabbed the spider, or I think she put a glass over it and like some things to take it outside so she didn't have to kill it. But oh my god, luckily I've moved on since then. I do not just point and scream if I see a spider. Because that was not the best way to react. And considering the fact that I really, really want to farm, you know, that would not go well with owning a farm and having to do all the things myself. So, yeah, that would have been a challenge. But luckily, I've evolved since then, so I don't just point and scream if I see a spider. I actually try to find a way to like take it outside. I don't really like killing bugs. Sometimes you have to, but I mean, where I live in the garden, all the snails or slugs or, you know, those slimy little suckers that eat everything, and when you kill them, they just like slime ball, ew, disgusting. I do not touch those with my hands because, yeah, no, that's not happening. But I do hate them. I really, really hate them. And those I don't mind killing, except they're like squishy. Yeah, they're just, yeah, no. But I don't mind killing those. I'm totally okay with killing those because they eat everything. So I really want those dead. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. And everyone who lives, I'm not gonna say anywhere, but like everyone around where I live, if we see the slug and we can kill it, we do, because nobody wants them. They are, yeah, no, they're just, no, we don't want those. But yeah, should I go to school part-time for the next 2 years? And therefore probably also struggle with money, but maybe something good will come out of it. I mean, I'll definitely learn something, but I don't know. I don't know what to do, and it's so hard to decide. It's so hard to decide. I have no idea what to decide. Oh, I have an idea, because as I said, or maybe I didn't say it, I mean, I could apply and kind of make the decision if I get in. I mean, it's not like I'm guaranteed to get in, because you have to have, I saw the, what's it called, the grade average for getting in last year. That was high. So, I mean, I don't even know if it's going to be a possibility for me, even, because I don't know if I'll get in. So, I don't know. Should I try? I mean, I could just apply and see what happens, but if I do get in, what will I choose? Will I choose to go for it and see what happens, or will I be too scared to do it, or will something else have happened in the meantime, or I don't know. I don't know. I wish I did, but I have no clue. But, I mean, I have to figure it out somehow, right? So I could apply and then see what happens. I could do that. I mean, it's not like I'm losing out if I just apply. And if I apply and get in, things have changed, I could just say no. I could just say no, thank you, that's not for me after all, or it doesn't work right now or something, and basically just say no. I could do that. Maybe that's the way I should go. You know? Just apply, and if I get in, which, as I said, I'm not a guarantee to get in because the grade average was high, so, you know, if I get in, then I'll make the decision then. You know, I think that sounds like a good idea. Apply and then kind of consider a lot of different things, I assume, while waiting for an answer. And you get the answer about, God, when do you get the answer? July 20th, I think? I think you get the answer whether you get in or not, July 20th, and then you have to reply to say whether you accept the placement or not. And you have like a week to do that, whether you accept it or not. Or you get a week to answer, basically. Yes or no. I don't know, maybe that's what I will do. I will and absolutely, please leave your suggestions down in the comment section. But I'm thinking, at least right this moment, I'm thinking that I should apply, and then I will see when the time comes whether I actually end up saying yes or no. Or, you know, if I don't get in, all these thoughts have been for nothing. No, that's not true. I mean, I will have thought through it, and I think that's a good thing, to think through decisions before you make them. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's so hard to make such decisions. It's so, I don't know, it's so hard. You know, at some point I'm gonna have to do something. I'm aware of that. But I don't know, but I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea what I will be deciding. But I kind of like the idea of applying and then see what happens. So I think I'm gonna do that, actually. I don't think that's necessarily what I thought in the beginning, but, you know. Luckily, we're all allowed to change our minds about things like that. I mean, it's not like I would lose anything. So, yeah. You might have stopped filming again. It's a hard decision to make, but I think I'm ending up with I will apply and then go from there, see what happens. I mean, as I said, if I don't get in, it won't matter anyway. But if I do get in, I mean, I would like to have an idea of what I want to do if I get in. Whether I will actually take up a spot or not. That is, yeah. It's such, I keep saying it's such a big decision. In a way, it's not, because I could just apply and then make my decision. I'm aware of that, but I don't know. At the same time, I let's be honest, I in a way have decided that I will apply and then we'll see what happens. And that too makes me a little nervous. Why that makes me nervous, I don't know. But it does. Ooh, cool. So yeah, I guess this will be it for this video, maybe. I've now talked myself into applying. I hope that's a good idea. I mean, it can't go wrong because it's not like I'm gonna lose anything. So, there's that, at least. It's not gonna cost me anything to just apply. And that way, with applying, I will at least find out whether I get in or not. And then, as I said, take it from there. It's still a little nerve-wracking though, but yeah, I will apply, and I will report back. In July, late July, whether I got in or not. That's that's so far away though. July. But it does give me time to think. It does give me time to ask a lot of questions for everyone. Like, I'm doing with you right now. Please let me know what you think. Should I apply? And if I get in, should I go to school? Then potentially struggle with money? And I don't know. And I mean, if I learn something good about gardening tips, I can share them, Oh, that would be fun. I don't think I'll be any kind of teacher capacity because that's not me. It's not my thing. I'm not a teacher type of person. I've never been. But, at the same time, I do like talking. A lot. So, maybe? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But let me know down in the comment section what your opinion about this is, because as I said, I would appreciate input. I think maybe it could help me. And I don't know what you need help with, but I apparently clearly needs help with this. So yeah, I would love it if you would give me some input. And apart from that, I hope you're having a nice day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!